Well, I didn't know that's what she said, but I heard her say something. I started recording already, so that's fine. Welcome in, brother. Real life, I'm gonna sit here. We are recording, so we can start whenever. I just right before you walked in. Yourself.
Cut the thumb.
And that shit.
I'm gonna start off with my headphones on, but I might take them off halfway through.
I think
There's somebody that messed up my setup. I gave him the keys.
my man before here, before us,
I had them right. I had them exactly how it needed to be.
nah, man,
Bless him. Let me bless him with.
buddy that was in here before here had his son.
He was recording by himself.
Oh, okay.
You know what? By the time I came in, it was only him in here. So,
Oh,
I think. Nah, that's just my imagination. I saw him and his son, and his son was like 3. So in my imagination, I feel like it was just him, and he put his son right there. That's why he readjusted the mic, and it was just him and his 3-year-old doing a podcast.
hey, that would be a very intriguing podcast, man.
And that should be all over.
I just wanted to be real about it. That's literally how I imagine it. But
So
I have
what's
a
your
cousin who
favorite
was
animal cracker.
pretty intellectual.
Yeah, what?
I got a cousin. He about 6 years old. Ken. He pretty intellectual. I think he could hold a conversation with us.
well, you leave a kid alone at that age. That's most people are more intellectual
Let me test
at
mine.
6 years old. They lose it along the way. Well, we
Yeah, before the drugs and corruptions.
yeah, man.
Before the
Gotta love the
peer
corruptions.
AKA TV.
Okay. I feel comfortable now, but I can take these off.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna be the only one looking like a cyborg.
You got to keep the levels right. You guru
I'm
/ Mike Dean.
yeah, make sure everybody's just close enough to the mic, really.
Well, what's going on, fellas? What's happening this week? If anything. Any new happenings?
Let's see. No new happenings at work. Pallets. That's the struggle we having at work was pallets.
Why?
It's a shortage?
Not-
No, man, because us as drivers, we don't want our stuff on pallets. We want to just have our boxes just loaded on the truck as they are. But management insists on putting everything on pallets and jumbling it all together. So we have to dig through pallets to find each stop. But, it is what it is, man.
Has he ever driven?
No.
Oh, that's weak.
Yeah, man.
Like
he a retired veteran.
Shouts out to our military personnel.
Shouts out
y'all.
to you.
There you go.
We know
An
what
important
you
sacrifice. We appreciate it. I couldn't do it personally. That's why I understand how important it is.
And that don't mean you come back to the States and act like a dickhead.
It sure don't. Because you ain't special when you get back to civilian life. Well, you are. That's what I'm saying. I just don't feel too good about yourself doing any walk of life. You know what I mean? You don't want to get too high on yourself.
some interviews came on my radar of like wounded warriors and stuff like that came on Joe Rogan. I can't remember anybody's name, but the guys who like lose their legs and stuff, they have like the most empathy. It seems like they have like a new look on reality. The guys that like lose their homies out in war and battle and stuff, they come back with like a whole new outlook on life, and they're like real. I don't want to say humbled, like that sounds cliche, Plus, I looked up the definition of humble, but like they're really like have a lot of empathy. It's but I have I know what you're saying. There's like a lot of guys that don't go to battle. They they kind of got like bad attitudes, but that's like with everybody.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. Like, this is a really bad example, but bro, I was taking a shower today. I'm like, man, I'm blessed to have a hand. Straight up, I keep on crying and complaining about my thumbs. I sliced up my thumb too, like 5 minutes after I did this, like a dummy. Y'all be careful in them sinks, man. When y'all washing the dishes, you be careful.
Oh, it was on the knife?
So the first one was on a mandolin. You know a mandolin. This is a little shaver thing.
Okay.
That turned me into the salad god. Because I be slicing them cucumbers. I'm a beast now. But this time I sliced my thumb too. And that was some extra flavor, some extra zip.
Bro, how far apart was these incidences?
So this happened, and this was me having to step out because I'm bleeding. And then I'm washing the dishes after, powering through the pain, and I didn't necessarily slice my other thumb, but it's not comfortable. I kind of stab it.
Oh, in that spot, like I see.
Yeah, you can see that. You don't want to see this because it's some bullshit. But the gist of it is, you kind of don't realize how much you use this side of your damn thumb until you mess it off.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's super annoying, bro. But again, people lose their whole hands. I'm glad to still have a thumb, my man.
Yeah.
Thank God for these thumbs.
It's those minor aches and pains that really can get to you. You know what I'm saying? Like the little, stings that don't seem big, but when they hit you, they really can mess with you,
And it keeps on hitting, too. And then you have to train yourself to not do things the way you've always done it because you done slice your damn thumb trying to wash dishes. Bro, you know what I was thinking? At what age is something going to hurt you enough to make you cry? Like, at this age, emotionally, I'll probably cry over, like, if it's emotional. But if it's physical pain, like, because, you a kid.
Yeah.
If this happened as a kid, I would have been crying in, like, a little whatever, like a gender-neutral girl or whatever y'all want to call in 2022, 21. But, you know what I mean? Like, at 7 years old, it would be okay for me. Ugh. As a 30-year-old man, I can't be sitting in the kitchen crying because I sliced my thumb.
Yeah.
That shit hurt, though.
Did it feel like it made you want to cry?
No, but I'm thinking the older we get, we process pain different. I don't necessarily think it's a pain tolerance threshold because hurting hurts. Whether you 7 or whether you 30. But it's like, I'm not going to let myself cry.
Because we emotionally like hardened on the inside.
Like, my nigga, if you run over my foot, I'm probably not gonna cry. That shit'll hurt. And you see fighters and shit, you break your leg in half. Are them niggas crying? Probably. They be like, God damn.
No, but think about it.
My worst injuries, I didn't cry as an adult, but I think we've been conditioned, to like not be, that's like fight or flight, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of type.
Because it don't hit you immediately. Like, this shit ain't hit me like right then. You kind of staring at it, you like, oh shit.
You an adult now. You got to handle that shit yourself. You can't call your mom to come handle it. You got to handle it.
Yeah.
It's a
But I couldn't cry, bro. Like, if someone break your arm right now, would you cry?
Nah.
Have you got your arm broke?
I never broke a bone in my life.
Me either. Thank God.
Probably shouldn't do that, superstition or whatever.
You broke something before, Kato?
Nah, just my ego.
But that's the last time I would have cried. That was because emotionally, I got some shit broke. But it wasn't because someone broke a bone or anything. Like, as a man, like, I'm not gonna cry. Please don't let me walk out here, God, and a tree fall on me or some shit. I might shed a tear if a damn oak tree fall on your boy.
What am I supposed to do if a tree fall on you and you like bawl and cry? I'm gonna be like, Pat. I gotta be like, Pat. Come on, dog.
You gonna give me some tissue on that tree, are we?
I gotta be like, you gotta get it together, bro, so we can get you from up under the tree.
But that's what I'm saying. You tried to just make a nigga stop crying because you uncomfortable seeing a grown man cry as opposed to like a goddamn oak tree.
Hey, bro, I really think like if something like that happened to any of us, the person that it's happening to would probably be handling it out of any of us would be handling it better than like you be handling this shit better probably than me or Greg. Like we looking at you under the tree.
That's why you're not supposed to give people Kleenex, because that shows the person that them crying makes you uncomfortable. Because it is fucking uncomfortable. You don't like seeing people cry, bro.
Yeah.
Well, people don't just have Kleenex on deck.
Yeah. But that's
I
why
wouldn't-
therapists won't give you Kleenex, because that's like saying like, hey, I'm uncomfortable
That's
seeing your ass cry.
That's real.
There's nothing wrong with crying and showing
Right.
emotion.
Right. Facts.
Because I noticed that you're right. Because if anything's going on, I do like want to make, like if something happened to somebody or me in either occasion, I want to make them feel comfortable. Like,
Right.
hey, I'm good. Let me just help you. You know what I'm saying? You good. You gonna be good, and I'm good as well. Because I don't want to make them feel like any type of pressure. They already going through enough.
Yeah, if they ask for Kleenex, I give it to you because you just messing up your shirt. But you crying is just a human emotion, just like everybody's capable of having, and it's okay to cry. Like,
And if you want to cry, don't wear all that damn makeup.
oh, that's a great segue.
I think the ones
Greg.
that cry the most wear a lot of makeup.
Man,
for some
that's
reason.
that's a beautiful ass segue, Greg. I'm gonna say this much, and she'll know what I mean. But I'm so glad I didn't marry a bad bitch. I'm
Yeah.
for real.
Why do we know what you mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm blessed to not have to deal with that bullshit, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh. Dude, it's been going on, but now it's at a level, I'm pretty sure it'll get worse, because you thinking that it was bad back when you identified it, but now it got worse up until this point, and I'm pretty sure it's going to fuck off even more.
I mean,
But
you
y'all
really
gotta
think
get
it
some
got worse?
direction, man.
You really think it got worse, or like we just seen it more?
It got, well, both, because they see it more and then they digging deeper.
Yeah. I think it's a surplus of women on the planet. And I think some have been conditioned to, go through life this way. And to each his own, that might be the way that you choose to go through your life. But
This phase, hopefully.
yeah, you got to understand the obstacles that's going to come with that, though. Like the type of personalities you're going to encounter and the issues that could come from those type of people you encounter from having this mindset.
And he's not blaming you for anything bad that happens
Yeah,
to
you're
you,
going
but
through your journey.
yeah, but
That ain't what men be wanting.
But you
I
know,
don't think.
yeah, like if I go to a place and I only been living in a room seeing commercials of Jack in the Box, I'm gonna go to the store, Jack in the Box store, thinking that those burgers look like the commercial burgers, and they don't.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and
It's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
After your $2,
Those burgers on the commercials aren't even real burgers, man. They edit those
they
and
be gluing them.
yeah.
for any of you gamers or really locked down people like that's really quarantining, those burgers don't really look like that.
I say this much. So on the topic of, and men in this too, bro, it's a matter of like the internet gives people this false sense of worth and a false ideal of what they should be. Greg, you mentioned it's a surplus. I think it's a surplus of lash length that's going on right now.
Hey man, you ain't telling no lies, boy. The lashes, boy.
Boy, they reach.
So
Hey,
y'all don't like that.
It gotta stop.
I
It's the
don't like
limit.
that, man.
It's a limit.
I like a more natural look to the eyelash, you know?
Yeah, because you got like, and then young women, like specifically young women, like I'm talking freshmen in college, all this other stuff, like literal women that haven't even grown into their features yet. And I'm trying to understand what their personal idea of beauty is. Because even as men, we grow into what we are. And as a 35-year-old, every one of us is going to have like a barbecue cookout fit eventually. You know what I mean? And that's not acceptable for us now. You know, people making fun of me. They say I'm grandpa. You know who it is. But I'm fine with looser fitting clothes. That's just because I'm just growing into it more.
Mm-hmm.
But this ain't a full-blown cookout gear with the sandals. But yeah, probably by the time you 45, 50, you just stop giving a fucking. You just out here on the grill cooking up
man.
for your fam, and you going to be in them damn sandals with your
Or them,
With
them
your
Shirt
button
open,
up.
yeah, with your taco meats hanging out.
And
with
it's
the dad New
acceptable
Balance,
at that time.
with the real dad New Balance.
Yeah.
Man,
Shout out
so
to New Balance. I ain't most comfortable. Greg, you got me on New Balances. I didn't get New Balances till I saw it. Well, both of y'all had New Balances before me.
Yeah, man, we was kind of early on the New Balance train, man. Like, shoot,
Respect.
yeah, they were probably like 05, 06.
They be on some weirdo Trump stuff, but I mean, I still got them. Made in USA. I don't mind supporting Made in USA, but they was on some weird political stances.
who? New Balance? Oh, I didn't know. I do have a few New Balances in the closet.
And I don't let politics necessarily dictate what I wear. If I like it, I just wear it. Like it ain't.
Yeah.
Although nowadays it's kind of weird, man. Like I had some USA socks. It's weird, like the branding of the American flag has become something that shouldn't be. If I'm proud to be an American, this is my home, and I have a right to it. Don't let me get into this part. I have a right to this country as anybody else that ain't this complexion, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, and so which means with that right, I should be able to drape that flag around me, and that should be my Superman cape more than other groups, right? But now I see that flag, they showing it for a reason. They meaning a certain population. Like if I see this truck or whatever with the flag going, I know you trying to be on some funny shit. So I got these socks off eBay. They're like some old socks, USA socks, and I be staring at them. I be like, man, I want to wear these things. But damn, are you gonna lump me in with truck man?
Oh, you get
Yeah.
self-conscious
You know what I mean?
now.
And
Yeah.
but this is my fucking home. This is where I live. Like we ain't in
You know
China right now.
You gotta just wear the socks, man. If you want to wear them socks, you gotta just wear them socks,
I
man.
agree. Okay.
But you know what? That stuff like that, when we start to feel some type of way about showing our whatever flag,
Patriotism.
Yeah.
patriotism. So that it always to me,
The
it
Olympics
always
got shitted on though.
yeah.
It
I
wasn't
think
the same
I
this
think
year.
that was
I didn't
think-
watch the Olympics. This
I ain't
year.
neither, but I know we
They
wasn't
wouldn't-
hitting as hard as we used to.
and we never had a chance. We was never gonna get the chance. That's how I see it.
And it was no people there, right?
I don't think.
Who want to watch sports without no art? Like the Olympics need people, dog.
And also see stuff like that we mentioning right now. It to me it symbolizes like some type of regime change or like mindset change that's being implemented, like in a way. It is like you know because we're at a certain level of consciousness where we ain't gonna be really out here fist fighting. Even though 2020 there was a lot of that like protests and stuff like that, but when we start questioning our mindset about certain things that like we seen growing up, that seems like a regime change to me. You know what I'm saying?
I think it collectively, the conscious has shifted, especially with the younger generation, which props to us millennials is really starting with us. Like our parents, I think that they ingrained certain ideals in our generation. So our parents, right, the shift kind of started with them, even though they had to live through some bullshit. We're like the first generation that hasn't touched like the post-racial generation. Like I grew up with white kids, all this other stuff, and I didn't have to hear any bullshit outside of that 7th grade story I gave you because we had our round table about that.
But that alone,
But
right
our
there,
kids, they have no clue what that shit is unless they see shit on TV and they like, because you know, white kids, Asian kids, they run around saying nigga, 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 and they don't get what it is. It doesn't hit them. In a way, I'm kind of like, I think it's kind of a cool thing, them seeing and not really identifying it that way, even though they got to get smacked upside the head. But it's kind of like it stripped it of the word, the N word. And don't let people tell you the N word don't mean nothing if they ain't saying nigga. You saying the N word for a reason. You ain't saying nigga.
at what point do they learn that though?
When somebody smack them upside the head.
See, the key thing about this whole situation, bro, is something that you explained to me, Ralph. That nigga is not a term of endearment.
It ain't.
Like we never, like we say that like because we took ownership over, but we never looked at ourselves and said like I never went to you and said, "Nigga, I love you." Like it was always like always like nigga. Like 9 times out of 10, it was like, man, nigga, shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like we
You a stupid ass nigga, oh dumb ass nigga, oh hoe ass nigga, oh bitch ass nigga.
My nigga or whatever.
My nigga, but
My nigga, when
That-
you assist me in the
it's like a
shoplift,
pause.
and it's crazy. Like if you assist me in the shoplift, I would have been like, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But
but now they call each other hoe and pussy and
bitch.
yeah.
We had what we call it? What was our high school? We had hard ass punks. We cakes. Cake was middle school. You a cake.
Cakes.
You a cake.
That's gay. Like you do something stupid. Oh, that
You remember twat face?
You gay.
I remember that.
Oh.
I was in the cake era.
Cock.
And you know the funny thing, which is
Cunt.
I don't think that's us. Yeah, the cunts and cunts. That's the other side.
It is the other side. So
That's the other side of the fence.
had
You
a-
cunt.
I had a wife, my white homie
Cunt.
in a band in middle school in 6th grade. My white homie was like, "Hey, bro, do you like cock or cunt?" And I didn't know what either
I
one
like you
were.
to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, now boys always coming with them hypotheticals and you trying to not sound like you don't know what's coming.
Why did he know I didn't
You
know
gotta
though?
make your way. You gotta
Yeah.
make your way, bro.
Why did he know I didn't know what either one of those meant?
Because
But
you
he
ain't
wanted
like
to
him.
tarnish your whole, because then now you got to learn what a cock and a cunt is.
That's how I learned. I said the
Man.
wrong thing.
Knowledge is power, kids.
You gonna learn a lot in middle school. Middle school is
That's
when all
that
that
street-
bullshit start to come about. But that's life's a journey, man.
Yeah.
And you get through it and you learn hopefully the right things. You're gonna take some L's. Everybody play the fool, like Greg said, like Aaron Neville said.
Yeah, he
Embrace-
said it best too.
Everybody play
Embrace
the
the
fool
L's.
sometimes.
Embrace the L's.
Yeah,
Like-
those are growth opportunities.
Yeah.
If you don't grow, you're really lost.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't if you ain't taking some L's, I mean you ain't jumping out there. You ain't doing what you really want to do or trying.
Yeah, because they're taking L's with these lashes in more ways than one.
Man,
I'm
but
telling you, these lashes, it's a pandemic of lashes.
do you
It
You
is.
shouldn't be
since-
18
We need to
years
get
old
some
with
lashes.
man.
We need to get some and start slinging them things.
Well, that's what.
Yeah.
So they starting businesses doing that. So the entrepreneurial part of it, I think it's kind of cool to see young ladies kind of branch out and do that. But why you 18 wearing lashes, or why you wearing lashes? Period. But when it's a standard,
know.
it's like a uniform.
I want to say what I want to say, but I'm afraid, they're going to look at me a way about
Hey,
saying what I feel.
You married?
Yeah, they look like ostriches, dog.
oh,
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Birds?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, no wonder that's where the bird.
My wife gonna get mad at me for saying that. She hates that word.
That's where the
but
bird name.
That's
came
what an
from.
ostrich is it not?
A bird.
Hey, why
They not fly.
do penguins have wings? They don't fly.
They
Those
fly
are
in the
fins,
sea.
fam. Like
they fly in the no. Have you seen the penguin underwater swim?
yes,
Them things like
they not birds.
they flying through the water though.
But are they birds?
Yeah, they birds.
Okay.
What? Are you serious?
No, I knew they birds, but like
Penguins
those are
are
fins.
And they
just
black and
evolved.
white.
They evolved.
They black and white.
Anything in the Arctic, look at what color it is. You gotta adapt to your surroundings. Anything in the Arctic is gonna be black and white, one way or another. Unless when it turns spring, then your fur turns.
Is
Fur
Antarctica?
turns.
Not to cut you off, sir,
Yeah, you go.
but is Antarctica how you get to the portal to the center of the earth?
If it's on the pole, technically, yeah.
I
You
think
can
it would
find
be.
Earth being a sphere, you can get to the center of Earth wherever you want, and that's another way to think of it too, though. Our placement on the Earth, we're kind of here, depending on, now, Earth shifts axes during our seasons, so it goes here and here. But a sphere, you can go to the center of the Earth wherever. It isn't necessarily a North and a South Pole in a traditional sense that just relative to where we are. We're always on the equator. Thank you, Houston, for burning us the fuck up. But relative to where we are, we can go to the center of the earth. It's just that we don't think of ourselves because we do have a north.
But
we
the
do
real
have a
question is, what is in the center of the earth?
south. Hot ass magma.
So, why?
Because that's what's in the middle of all planets. You got a hot molten core,
Right.
and it comes out and it gradually cools, and then gravity holds basically the damn blob together. But every single planet has a hot molten core.
You know what I learned?
But why? Is it cooking?
Bro.
Are we cooking?
Let me.
It's part of, that's why we got geysers and stuff. Most of the Earth's even under the ocean, like the geothermal vents, it sustains life in a way. Without
Yeah.
that molten core, life wouldn't be possible, even though that's God designed. God created the
Right.
molten core and all that good stuff. So life and anything that sustains itself is due to the core being molten. If this was a dead core, we wouldn't have life in the oceans or the processes that we take for granted every day.
Right.
They wouldn't exist.
And the reason you're saying that is because of the carbon dioxide. Like it creates like it's basically what the plants live off of, and our plants help our like
They
it's vital
synthesize
to
it.
yeah, it's vital to our atmosphere for us to like.
Because our air isn't oxygen. Our air is the cocktail. It's nitrogen, mostly, carbon dioxide. Nitrogen is really important to plants too. Like plants is a huge ass damn deal. Like
Yeah,
they take all the carbon that we put in, synthesize it, release it as oxygen. Chlorophyll, it plays a major key taking the sun and all this other stuff.
yeah, and that's why everything that most of the most important things to us are essential. Like we can't make it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Mhm.
like the plants synthesize something. Like even with us eating animals, it's because their flesh has synthesized. Like
We
has
need
went
it.
through the process of they probably eat plants and their body synthesize it into
It's
protein.
the circle of life. It's the circle.
Man,
The circle.
but these lashes, man.
Yeah, they tripping. That ain't the circle of life. That's the circle of looking like a dummy.
Nah, so
And I give them, it's a grace period. Like you hopefully grow out of it. Some of them don't though. And maybe I'm too early for that because I guess the last pandemic, I think that started the last like maybe 3 years. But you shouldn't have to feel pressure to wear lashes. Like you can take a picture without lashes and feel
We
pretty.
like y'all without lashes.
Yeah.
I think everything else is
Man,
wonderful.
you know what I learned?
Except the eyes, dog.
And
And
the
the
butt
eyes
plug
are the
too, though.
gateway to the soul, ladies.
Don't
So
be
let's
tryna-
not hide the gateway to the souls behind them things, you know?
they
Whatever they are.
They don't
They
care
put
what we
pressure on
want.
themselves.
Yeah, they look like tarantula legs sometimes.
They don't care what they do not care what we like.
But and that's the other part of this. So that's what I was
That's
thinking
true.
too. Because the argument from them would be like, I do this for me.
Nah, you right.
In
though,
my
Greg.
opinion is what I should say.
Nah, but
I
that's
agree. I think every
collectively-
grown man kind of feels
Yeah.
that way. Them dudes
That makes
be
it a
seeing
fact.
These bad bitches, they kind of like, man, you kind of don't have to do all that shit. But if you doing it, cause quote unquote it makes you happy,
Right. That's
they don't
facts.
necessarily make
let me ask you
us
something.
happy.
Let me ask you something. Do you think if like a group of women realize that stuff doesn't matter, you think they would be disappointed?
Yeah, because they want to make themselves feel pretty. It's a certain threshold. They want to still feel pretty, even though they'll have a million niggas talk about how good you look, but they want to do something like whether it be painting their nails a different way. Now they wearing BAPS nails and all this other stuff. And I mean, hey, do what you do. Because again, I'm hoping that's a trend. Don't do that by hey, whatever, I'm done. I'm glad I ain't got a bad bitch. I got a beautiful woman. Thank God for my wife, Chelsea. Thank you. It ain't got to be extra to be on this team. So,
And all the bad bitches are queens. You know,
They
we
are
love
too.
you all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hope
it's a
they
phase though.
No, I hope they start to realize that they're queens, because for them to project their empowerment and queenism, it kind of says like there's like something lacking there. Like they don't really
Yeah.
believe it. Because if you got to say it so much, that means you ain't acting on it. Like you ain't living that.
Yeah, when your Instagram name is Pretty Wood, I always hate that. Like whenever you put
Perfectly imperfect.
your name, if you put pretty in your name, it's like, why are you trying to convince me?
Pretty.
Like, it's not necessary. But that's what you want to do to feel pretty. Fine, make yourself pretty, blah, blah, blah. It's too pretty something. It's like, come on, y'all. You ain't even being original. You supposed to be pretty because, I mean,
You know the
you knew you were
ones.
queen anyway, supposedly. So
I
why are you
had to
trying to convince me?
Wipe my gram. I had to wipe my gram, man. It was getting
the
a
ones
little
you were
too out of
following.
hand
Your
at one
timeline,
point.
you mean?
Yeah, I had to start unfollowing women on there, man, because I'm married,
They all look
man.
the same, don't they? Well, even
Yeah, I think I started realizing I had a type. And I was like, man, let me stop doing, like, let me start unfollowing.
Your
Because
timeline
every
will
time
tell
I
you.
like them, they just get more prevalent on my algorithms. And I ain't need that in my life, man. I can't even have my wife come up behind me while I'm on Instagram because
And
they
shout
just
out,
there.
Them algos be
shout out them algos. But I think people need to realize about the algos. You got total control. Be selective about what you clicking and liking because you control the algo. It's
Yeah.
a reflection of what you do. Don't let it fool you. You're not a victim of the algo. You made it.
Yep, it just
Man.
studying your ass, and if you liking them lashes,
Yeah.
it's gonna pull up. But
And all y'all on Facebook taking them surveys, like, bro, stop.
Facebook ghetto.
well, you know, Facebook, yeah, that's for the older crowd now.
Still.
It's the ghetto.
Stop.
They got
That's our family members.
it's a learning curve.
Wait,
and
what's-
And
gotta
they the
figure it
worst to
out.
talk to. Like the Facebook people, sometimes they be the worst to have a real conversation with.
It's the
Man, I ain't
ghetto.
on no social media. Y'all ain't gonna find me on hashtags, nothing. It ain't no backslash.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see Pat outside of this and outside of in real life. If you got my number, you supposed to have it. Is that
You got burner accounts? I know you got
burner.
Yeah, I got a
accounts.
burner
He won't
account.
even
That's-
share his stuff with us.
Well, look, I buy certain things from artisans
Got you.
on Instagram. If I
Wait,
see
what
you got some
photos
stuff-
you got on there of like
No, it's no photo.
Hold on, we gotta bag this all the way back up first of all, because what the hell is an artisan?
like a art
a person that makes stuff.
yeah, like as a art form. Like anytime you see artisan something, it's like
Right. They make shit.
yeah.
Like
And of
such
course-
as an example.
Knowing me, I'm talking about some clothes. I had a guy in Vietnam. Shout out to Hephaestus. That's my guy.
It's a craft version of anything. Like artisan pizza, it's like crafted
mhm.
as an art form. The person who
Okay.
did it, like
It's a not mass produced, basically, right? So
Right.
I use my burner account. I come across new brands. I buy my stuff from them. But sometimes on Instagram, they don't have like a web shop. So you
Mhm.
gotta go through the DMs, and it is what it is. I love like the more niche brands where you can kind of dig in, and that applies across the board. Like my wife, of course, she finds candles and stuff and all that. So yeah, I got me a little burner, but it ain't nothing for me to follow you as a person so I can ogle over your pics
Mm-hmm.
and to like this and that. No, this is just for me to just waste some money on some clothes.
and be anonymous. Me and Greg was really curious. Do you make anonymous like comments on like
No,
posts? Like
bro, like I don't interact with nobody outside of DMs. And the only reason I interact with you is, hey, how much is this? What's the turnaround time? Cool. And we setting up kind of arrangements.
nah, that
but
makes sense.
Those are the super, super niche ass people because everybody got a web shop. If you making stuff online, so it goes to show like how, and I love that shit because if I'm gonna buy something, I want to make sure that's mine. So if I'm discovering a brand, I think I love that part of Instagram. It gives people a chance to connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's the algorithms at work sometimes too.
Truly. Because, I do follow pages. So if I see
Yeah.
you got some nice menswear items or whatever, I'll follow it. But like I said, I don't necessarily get on Instagram to follow chicks because they all look the same. And it's sad. Like, it don't mean you don't look good. Of course, you're beautiful in your own right, but y'all are carbon copies of each other. Like over and over and over and
Yeah.
over. If you seen one,
Originality is key, I think. Don't you think?
that's a major key. That's the only key.
Yeah.
You think that idea? No one ever really taught me that, but I always had a sense of that. But like, do you think that could be taught? Like, be original, be individual. Do you think that could be taught?
It takes a certain level of boldness to want to step out and be yourself anyway.
True.
So what's taught, you got to grow a thick skin to keep stepping out after somebody may not give you the love you thought you deserved. You have to be bold enough to constantly refine. I know I'll be stepping out looking stupid sometimes, but over the years, you just refine your sense and you refine it. And this is with anything, whether it be how you write a paper in school, because I used to write some papers, bro. I talked some shit to my English teacher in the 10th grade. I ain't bullshitting. And I thought about it because you're like, you got to write this daily journal. Like, okay. So I started going at her. like in the journal. And I'm like, why won't you look at me? Why won't something? Why do you not da?
They was real or you was just like picking at it?
I'm not picking at it, but you know what I mean? Like,
That was your real feelings
I
towards
got
her.
it in my head. Like, I'm like, okay, you want me to write some shit? I'm going to write some shit. So I started, but again, it took a level of boldness. Did y'all ever see that? I don't know if this is real or not, but a college application, and someone, college applications, they say, why should you get admitted to Harvard or some shit? Or can you give me a definition of courage? And again, I don't know if this is real or not, but the person wrote, this is courage, period. That's it.
Yeah, I've heard of instances like that. And,
So it's just the boldness of being able to just, all right, this is it.
It's like
This
a
is
byproduct.
courage gonna get your ass at community college.
Yeah, they get it.
Hey, but so one thing, yeah. Now, one thing that I've noticed about instances of courage is like pushback, and you gotta like kind of like survive the pushback and to in order to refine what you're trying to do. Like
Well,
you ever like when you said, "Yo, man, I know I come out looking stupid sometime." I know you're saying that from a place of like a perspective,
Yeah.
like, but from that, it's like you gotta kind of jump out there. Like
You
like,
have to.
It's kind of like a byproduct of confidence. Like
Yeah, I always admired it because it was so not the norm. You know what I'm saying? Because your fashion has always been transcended, in my opinion. Like you were always like 2 to 3 steps ahead of what everybody else was doing. You always like a visionary with the fashion for sure, man.
I appreciate that, Greg.
Yeah.
I really do.
You put us in skinnies, dog.
Man, look, I had to get my team on the right thing. I ain't no savant. I'm just, you just wear what you wear. It ain't no
Yeah.
thought really into it. But it's a difference between being brave and courageous. I read an article
Expand on that to us.
years back. So I think it came from some Greek origins, but in essence, it's brave is something a young man does. Whereas courage is something you grow into. Bravery is just running into a fucking fire just because ain't nobody running the damn fire.
Okay.
Courage is having to understand, I have to run into the fire and I'm going to do this because of
So
that.
you become a fireman.
Yeah, or it's just a more thoughtful approach because being brave is just like I said, just
Running out
autopilot.
there and getting shot in the face.
Yeah. Brave is the insurrection. That wasn't brave. That's some pussy shit. But them guys thought they were being brave. It wasn't a lot of thought or intention behind it. They just wanted to do some shit and consequences be damned. Courageous people, you have to do it, but it's more foresight, it's more thought into it, and it's a hallmark of a mature man because we associate brave and courageousness usually with men and in the sense of the Greek part, back then it was a patriarchal kind of thing. Women didn't get their just due. Not saying that women can't be courageous and brave, but that was more in terms of battle.
Yeah.
You go into war, the brave dudes were the young dudes that just on some rah-rah shit, getting stabbed with your spear. Now, the courageous people were the ones that you see everybody getting stabbed, you like, God damn.
Okay, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then
you got to sign them over up before I go in.
And you still go out
You
there.
see what's going on. Like, it's like, man, I got to do it for my country. I got to do it for whatever. I'm going to go ahead and get it in.
Yeah, okay.
So how do you feel about Afghanistan then?
It needed to be done. It puts the location in a bad spot. But
You mean the exit of the troops?
yeah, like it just the whole geographical region that puts them at risk. But again, it still goes into us meddling more than what we had to. Like this is the longest war fought in U.S. history. And it's over some prideful stuff. Yeah, they came. And I remember September 11th, right? So I looked at this thing on Netflix, too. They came out with a new series or whatever. Y'all remember September 11th, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
vividly? Like the
The
time?
day, I remember the day, like, but we still had to go to football practice.
So
I remember vividly.
I remember I was in Coach Meekins' class. Coach Meekins, right? That was world history. I
Yeah.
think it was third period.
Hammurabi.
What?
That's how he used to say that boy name. Hammurabi. Why was he so infatuated with Hammurabi? Like, that's weird. But whatever.
Man, just imagine they was teachers, but they, jerks just like any of us.
But yeah, bro, like, so we cut on, because you cut on the TV. So we saw, like, by the time the TV hit, or by the time they cut on the TV, the first plane had already hit.
Yeah.
So we staring at the TV, then we saw in real time when the other plane hit, though. And
Yeah.
like, oh, shit. Then, of course, you keep on playing, then the buildings actually fell. And like, God damn. We were just walking around all day. Of course, people, I'm not going to say no names.
You already.
I won't comment on this story at all.
Running around the hallways acting crazy. But so going back to the Afghanistan thing, of course, that's a precursor to that. Now, what is it? That was 2001. This is 20 years later, right? Osama got killed. We did what we had to do, I guess, in that sense, for justice to be served.
Well, there's also like an international statute that says that if you go into a country and mess it up, you're responsible for fixing it.
Right.
So that happened. I mean, that plays a part in it. Of course, everybody, the mass public is not experts on any of this, so we don't get told and taught this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much that goes into play with that. I think it's like also to implement a certain mindset, because I mean, if you want to not have certain type of issues going on in the world, they might have thought like just being there for however long would gradually change the mindset of these people, or they was just done with their contract. I don't know.
And then, but on the other side of that coin, it's like, what right do we have to make a different people try to adjust to a westernized way of living? Like, they didn't want to be Western folks. Like, they didn't want to be Americanized, having Starbucks, and they were fine being goat herders and living how they live. That isn't uncivilized. Just because you don't speak English, it doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means, nah, man, like, you just don't speak the language that I choose to speak. Yeah. Frankly, I think that bilingual people, that's a courtesy to us. Like, if I get a Spanish person over here or a Hispanic person, hey, you're smart. First off, you're smarter because you know two different languages. I don't care. So I can't justify calling you stupid if you're able to talk to me in one way and you could talk to a whole nother human being a whole different way. So what right do I have to say, oh, this is a dumb Mexican or a dumb... No, bro, you can speak two different languages. That's more than what I can do.
Yeah. Well, I love my Hispanic brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
They good to me on the daily, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I try to be the same back to them.
The one, I agree with that too. And it's all about like, you can only control what you say and do. But the thing about that region, like the Middle East, Europe, that region, there's a history of a battle of resources.
Yeah.
So the thing that comes in the thought also is like there's so many tribes and battles going on. How are these like different like regimes and tribes treating their women? So if we're all like, if there's like a certain group of people that like wants the consciousness to raise in the world, they're gonna take on the responsibility to try to do that. But I'm no expert on anything political or anything like that, but I do know that you hear a lot of like bad things, like bad social things happening in the name of like the religion.
Yeah.
To the women?
Yeah, mostly to the women.
From the Taliban, and this is of course gleaned from that first episode on Netflix. The Taliban, once they took over that region in Afghanistan, that's when it started really becoming draconian. Like, old world, like, hey, head to toe, I don't want you seen, all that other stuff. They really like clamped down, because before women it was more Western. Like, you can go to university, they just look like Western women, and now they shut all that shit down once they came into power.
Yeah, because they didn't want the Western idea to grow
Exactly.
there.
And that's when they started, because 9/11, that wasn't the first time Biggie said, they bombed the World Trade Center.
Mhm.
They've been talking to the World
with a
Trade
van.
Center over and
Yeah.
over and over.
And when I see that happening, like as a pattern develops, right? And then when I see a pattern, I immediately process like, why? Okay, the World Trade Center, it signifies something. New York, everything in America starts there. Like any cultural, like American thing,
Yeah.
any modern thing is gonna start in New York.
That's where the rats and piss come from, too.
Yeah, we never heard of that until, well, New York. No,
Man, I ain't seen a rat. I seen one going to a taco truck down here, but I was in New York.
I
them
hope you
things-
didn't eat the.
Hey, man, Los Locos.
Oh, heck no.
Hey, best tacos on the north. Don't miss out.
I went and talked to my people, man.
Don't miss out.
where is this? What y'all talking about?
No, hey, I went and talked to my people the other day. They was really delicious tacos, man. But
Did you check their tailpipe?
No, that's disrespectful, dog.
Hey, I saw that rat hop of that tailpipe. And I
He was
still got
leaving
that
Taco
burrito.
Bell, man. He was just
I
trying
still
to.
got that beef fajita. Hey, they ain't gonna stop this. It's that rat probably had a whole family in that thing.
Oh,
Man,
you talking about the one on Walters we talking about?
Man, every one of them taco trucks goddamn rats, man. They got a whole ecosystem.
How they get in there though?
that all right by the
tailpipe.
ditch.
But that's
That's
a muffler.
like
that ain't
saying-
connected. Hey, you can go to the engine bay. I ain't worried about that.
Rats
You ain't
and
never-
cars don't, like rats and mobile things. Like how does that happen? Like roaches. I seen roaches in a car in TikTok. Like
Oh yeah, with the delivery lady.
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to it, but I just,
Yeah, y'all better be careful with that Grubhub. I don't do Grubhub, but there was this lady that she was delivering food and they had literal roaches. Like it looked like she was living out the car and there was roaches all in that thing.
but they
And she
come
was
from somewhere
delivering
else.
food.
They come. Those roaches came. Somebody came from somewhere with roaches, and
Yeah.
roaches was in their bag or something or their
And
hair.
now this their ecosystem they took over. But the thing about Afghanistan, the one thing to be conscious of, remember Russia tried to get Afghanistan, right? And all these other countries, China is now creating inroads to Afghanistan too. Afghanistan geographically is like the hub. That's why all these countries want it. You realize China literally shares a border with Afghanistan. These places are like right there.
Mhm.
India, Pakistan, Afghanistan got this little thing that hits China.
Mm-hmm.
So if you control Afghanistan, you control the east to west kind of like trade route. That's why Russia was trying to get it. Of course, we was over there trying to damn near get it for the most part. China's created these new pacts and all this other stuff so the
So-
world is fighting over this country just because it has access.
So, in like hypothetically speaking, if
And they would want it for themselves too. That's fucked up. Like, why can't we keep our own country? You got all these other countries. It must be good.
yeah,
Like, let us have
Yeah.
our own damn land.
Yeah, man.
like Crimea, like essentially it's like, so basically you're saying hypothetically speaking, which I initially kind of thought that like America goes in, implements a government that's mirrored by us.
To take
They're-
their oil and shit.
So it's kind of like if they do that, then they're pretty much annexing like
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
We go to other countries. We establish our
Mindset or
dictatorship or
Whatever.
however our diplomatic system. We put in like a puppet president and we just extract resources. Then we get the fuck out when it all crumbles. Just like Nicaragua, whatever the hell it was. Like we have a history of doing that shit. We go and fuck off countries and we come back. And man, it's some scumbag ass shit. But here we are drinking our Starbucks. Like I said, I thank God for living in this country. Like this is my home. The only time we ever got touched was 9/11 because Pearl Harbor, yeah, technically, but that's like
They-
an island.
they was all it's closer to Japan than it is us. So
Yeah, like we got touched. Like,
we never realize how like a lot of times we don't get touched because we're so far away from anybody who want to do anything.
bro, could you imagine if a bomb just fell right now? Like we don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Literally.
Other countries really know what that's like. That life is like.
We are
even-
really fortunate.
Even like modern country, like shoot, Great Britain, like all those countries been bombed in
They literally destroyed that country.
in modern history. Like
World War II. Like we're talking World War II. I mean, what is that? Like 80 years ago? So yeah, I mean it's a while back technically, but nah, like 1945. Come
Right.
on now,
Nah,
like that
yeah.
ain't like that
Mhm.
damn long ago.
yeah,
So and that's why we spend so much money though on our military though.
oh yeah,
Because if
Yeah.
you're stupid enough to mess with America, like we gonna come with some things. But that's the military industrial complex that Eisenhower was trying to warn us about. When you spend more money on militarization of a country just to kind of fend off other people, Russia could have been sent a nuclear over. They could have been fired a nuke at us.
Yeah.
India can. All of them got the
But you know what?
potential.
Think about it. That you just said something, and this is all like in theory. Look at Dubai. They don't. You know, you don't hear about like them spending money on the military that much. But America, you go look at any overhead view of America, and I put it in context. America had the first power grid in New York. So essentially it was like coming to America in 1800s was like us going to Dubai right now. So
Mm.
so like now though, you do an overhead drone video of New York, it's like rusty looking. Like
Yeah,
if,
New York is old as hell.
yeah, so
Yeah.
but why though? We
You think it's too many people?
nah, we spending the money.
not spending
We're not
money
focused on
to-
that.
We're not spending it on education. That's why we fell behind. We're not spending
Yes,
it on
yeah.
infrastructure. We got bad bridges and all this other stuff. Bad
Right.
bridges and
Oh
bad
man,
bridges. And
speaking
with
of bad
eyelash
bridges,
extension.
don't get me on 290, bro. They said like
Huh.
all that time putting
They made
290
progress.
together. But no, they say when it rains, people hydroplane. Like
Oh yeah,
it's like really, really bad.
I seen some people.
I don't take 290 no more.
I don't really take
Hydroplane. Have you
290.
hydroplaned before?
I never lost control.
Did you actually slip though?
A little bit, but I didn't like lose.
Spin?
Yeah, I ain't spinning nothing.
Yeah, did you ever spin?
Yeah.
Did you make it out? Did you hit something? Or
Oh
you
no, I
caught
got
it?
stuck in some mud. I didn't hit anything, but I got stuck in some mud and somebody like a cool dude helped me out. This was a while, like 10, 12 years ago.
Man,
Shout out to that guy.
I had me a little flipperachi, not a full flipperachi, like a flip, but thank God
On the
my
side?
mom and my cousin was in the car. We was coming on 290. And we spun like it was raining and I felt the car. Well, you know, it's a hydroplane. Shit, if you know, you know. Like we turned, but somehow, first off, it wasn't no traffic around us. Somehow. And we
Right.
spun perfectly enough to where it was a side street coming off 290, and we magically just landed at a side street. And I'm looking at my rear view the whole damn time because I'm behind the wheel. I'm like, God damn, man, like, don't let me be the person to like mess all this off. And
Yeah.
somehow, and I'm staring at the rear view. We did all the stuff. And you know the highway, it feel like it's 5 minutes later, but now I'm finally seeing cars come.
Shit.
This is like 8 o'clock at night, bro. So it should have been cars around. So something was going on. Well, I know what it is, God. Thank you, Lord. But,
Man.
you know, that situation, like when you hydroplaning, bro, and to literally do a 360 on 290 and like hop on this magic side street, they don't have them things, and no cars were around, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But I never drove fast to get in the rain. I don't be doing that driving fast shit. I be telling folks, what you
Yeah.
in a rush for?
Yeah. I don't,
Fuck
I
that.
don't mess
Especially when
around.
it rains, bro.
Did y'all ever take a driver's ed class?
I did. I went to Safeway.
Man, you remember how I did my driver's ed, don't you? Well, at least Jules.
Kind of.
My mom taught me how to drive. We did the whole self-taught.
Mm.
Oh, you and Drew.
How did
I
that
know
work
what-
out for you?
I ain't speaking of Drew. I don't know about Drew.
No, yeah.
I know my mom taught me how to drive.
Do you think she did a good job?
I'm here.
Yeah, but I mean that comes from
That's
years
fair.
of you getting behind the wheel from yourself. Cause my dad, he couldn't teach me nothing. Like I had to go to Safeway because he's just too like panicky and jittery. Like I can't drive with somebody who too flinchy
What
like
car
that.
was you driving?
His car. It was
That's-
it was the Grand Prix.
Oh, the pre.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
when he was driving the
pre.
Grand Prix.
Well, shit, we knew what happened to that pre eventually.
So his nerves was too tight
But that
teach you.
preserves you well.
Yeah,
Another
man.
30
Shout out,
on the Series V6.
man.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to that
GM.
Grand Prix for sure.
So but that makes sense because I know, some people that were like self-taught, but not maybe so well. They don't learn until they get into the accident.
Bro, it ain't
Mhm.
complicated, bro. Driving is just. Well, you know what's funny though? When you see kids driving, little kids when they play driving, they doing this shit all the time with the wheel, and I be like, man, I hope you don't grow up doing that shit.
I know,
That
dog.
ain't how it works.
I remember y'all remember Drew used to like yank the steering wheel while we driving. Y'all
Yeah,
never
yeah,
was
boy, that
man.
shit was-
Drew, I smacked the shit out of him. He tried something
Yeah,
like
pull that
that.
bullshit.
But he wouldn't do that with
We
me.
almost got a ticket because this nigga ain't put on a seatbelt coming from church, and thank God the cop ain't give it to us. I'm like, bro, like it ain't.
Y'all was coming from church?
Yeah, we went to Drew Church as a matter of fact. So we was coming from like, I don't know what that was, but
Lockwood.
long story short,
Set of gas.
somewhere, but yeah, cop pulled us. I never got pulled over, bro. And I'm like, man, this nigga.
It's because it's tats.
Maybe. And I'm like, how did you even see the seatbelt?
They racist, man.
He probably had a white shirt on.
But I mean, they let us go. We got a warning, and that was kind of it.
It's so it's funny because I did a project on racial profiling in 10th grade in government, and then just what happened, I had the Impala, and I became kind of accustomed to it. Like I pulled over a lot,
Yeah,
like
Impala's
victim of
gonna
it.
get you.
I think that's the main reason my pops wanted me to get that Maximum.
Oh yeah,
I was
man.
trying to go Challenger hard. That was
That's some
just
good
my
insight.
vision. but
It's a real thing. I don't never. That's why.
he knew I was gonna be blowing that mug down on every
Yeah.
occasion and getting drunk and
But
everything else.
what was you driving when you got pulled over with you that time? Just
That was Percy.
so yeah. That's a
Regal.
That's a Regal. So yeah, you might have been getting profiled that day. It was in City Gas. That's a hood. No, you don't know.
Maybe
You
I
don't. You
know.
never. When you get in, like it took me.
And
like a
Impala is something
while.
a total different
Yeah.
beast though.
Yeah.
Impala is like the hood staple, like for real. Like
Yeah.
you gonna get that Impala. You gonna get that
It ruined a lot of stuff.
Le
for me.
Sabre.
Especially that one with them circle lights on the back like you had.
Yeah.
04.
Mhm.
03. Yeah. It ruined a lot of things for me.
That was that square body.
Yeah.
Man,
That was one of the classics.
and I like the Impalas too. When they first came out with that one, because they were making a big deal about that was the first time it came back.
Mm.
They brought it back
Since
with
like
that.
96.
Yeah. And niggas just fell in love and it just became a stereotype in every subsequent Impala. I know who gonna be in it when I pull up at the light.
Nah, they can't say that, dog.
I know it's you, brother.
Nah, that's
What's
paper
up with
tag
your plan?
shouted.
What's up with your plan?
Y'all know where I can find
Papers
some.
gonna be out there.
Y'all know I can find some.
Yeah,
green.
man, outside of town, them paper tags, that's where it's at. That's what Big at from
That's
Urban
what-
Politicians TV. He say,
Man.
once you get to the north side, you go see hella paper tags.
But them paper tags, bro, like I was so proud when I got them paper. I just didn't even want the paper tag on my car, bro. I'm like, man, can we skip this shit?
Nah,
I'm gonna keep this shit in the garage. I just don't want it to look like that.
there's one thing you got to realize, like the paper tags, it signifies that it's new, but if you have a certain car, you know that there's like a lien on it or it's stolen or something. Like man, mine had a lien on it that I didn't know when I bought. So mine stayed with paper tag. I had to keep renewing. So it drew a lot of attention to me. Plus, my skin's not white.
And you just so happen to have a paper tag with today's date riding around and I mean,
yeah.
or tomorrow's date.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you
and
have a paper
It don't even
tag
matter.
for 2025
And they'll find something else. Like
because
if
they made a
that day-
typo.
Yeah.
They made a typo.
And so and they'll try to find something. They pull you over so they got to find something. And it's just, it follows you. But anyway.
Yeah, man. I got pulled over downtown one time, and the dude was like,
Downtown.
yeah, we was just leaving. I think it was Midtown Lounge at the time. But they was like, your tag's out. I'm like, bro, look at the tags. He's like, oh, it must be an error in the system. I'm like, dog.
They lying.
Yo, like, fell.
I'm
They
done
don't
with
pull
the
they
tag
don't
stop.
they don't pull you they don't pull over in downtown anymore.
Yeah, I want to look at mine.
Oh.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, mine still say 420.
420.
Yeah.
How about
Me
19?
too, fam.
05-19.
Mine say 422.
Hey, COVID shut down the courthouses from what I heard. So
No,
look,
yeah,
if
man.
I
But
could
420,
do it-
April the 20th was the last day before you had to start the 21st. April the 21st was when you had to get back on your game.
That's what threw me
okay.
off, and I just kind of like kept letting it go. But,
2021, I should say.
hey,
Well, the one thing about my car, and me and Charles were laughing about it, like, ain't nobody gonna mess with it. We can ride through
Yeah.
neighborhoods. Nobody's gonna be looking at you weird.
right? Because what? Yeah,
Yeah, so even cops, like, I'm kind of straight. I think I got pulled over once, and that was really early in the morning. He let me go. I was on the way to work. That was when we was in them apartments. But
when they know you, like when they can see if there's evidence that you got a job, they kind of like go easy on you.
I think that might have saved me because I'm like,
Yeah.
hey man, I got to go to work anyway. You know.
They usually get me out of the ticket. And plus, I just say, I make it a habit of saying, yes, sir.
Sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make them feel important.
Mhm.
Give them the respect that they deserve.
You know, yeah. It ain't, it's nothing. It ain't really an issue humbling yourself if it's going to
To a
save you
degree.
some bread. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You gonna save
it ain't
yourself some bread
It
and
ain't
some hassle.
even. Yeah, right. And that's if you have urges to just be arrogant. Like if you want to get arrogant out of pocket, just humble yourself a little bit because it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you just took that $200 is some groceries or whatever that you could have gave to your fam or whatever, and that's true.
But
I
you
think-
know, don't y'all see like an incline in like people being difficult when they get pulled over now?
Yeah, you definitely want to have your camera on and all this other stuff. You want to catch people doing shit, and sometimes it don't really be that deep because you know your ass was really speeding.
Yeah, it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy or something.
Yeah, and you want to have some shit to prove for the internet, and the internet ain't gonna pay your ticket, buddy.
Nah.
And I don't care what no station say. We know y'all have quotas, man. Don't even bullshit with us, dog. We know.
We know what's up.
But hey, that's why I don't be speeding. That's why, like, it's no point. I told my wife like the other day, like, man, I don't be doing no. I think when you speed, that's like young manish stuff. It's like you trying to like, what am I racing for? Like, bosses always on time. Like, you wait until the boss get here. The meeting starts when I get there. So what am I late for on any occasion? Now, I did speed up here because I wanted to be on time, but you know what I mean? Like the whole speed racer shit, I used to kind of want to do that back when I was, 19, 18 in Percy in a goddamn Buick Regal, not an actual fast car. You know what I mean? But now I'm 35. Like, what do I have to be racing for? And I be seeing people doing some silly ass shit on the highway. And I'm like,
it
you
get deadly. It get deadly. And I would just caution those people that's doing that is that the max time you gonna cut off getting where you trying to get to is 5 minutes, man. So
It is.
if you just know it's your last day and you about to lose your job or something like that, okay, maybe, but is 5 minutes even really worth it?
Keep it in and keep
you might
it.
lose your life or mess somebody else's life because you driving stupid.
Yeah.
You might drive and cause another person to be skittish and like skid off and fuck somebody off, man. That's bullshit.
And if you on your last like leg at work and
You
with
destined to
attendance,
go.
you don't care about that job, man.
And when
Yeah,
if
that's
you
like-
a lot of people just doing it just do it. Just be safe because like a lot of people who excessively speed, what I've observed is they haven't realized yet what could happen.
Mhm.
They don't stop doing that until something happens. And like it's like this, like just have the idea. Anybody that hears this, just know that the first thing they teach you in driver's ed, they teach it for a reason, that it might not be you, but just expect that somebody else might do some unexpected stuff that might mess you up.
Cause we be doing that stuff. It's usually about chicks, bro. Like, well, not every single time, but you got your homeboys in the car, you just acting stupid, but eventually you're gonna convince a young lady to get in that passenger seat and you just gonna let me show you what this Regal can do, baby.
Man, hell no,
Let me
bro.
show you what this 94 Regal can do. I can go 90 miles an hour at 90 mphs. Stupid ass shit. And knowing your tires bald as
Yeah,
fuck,
bro.
knowing your tires look like Carl Winslow.
The power of the feminine, man.
Let me show you. Let me show you what this thing can do, though. You know, let me show you. I got drive and neutral. I got 4-speed.
Don't be scared.
Hey, no, hell no.
Grab onto my arm if you're scared.
Hey, the worst thing I think I did was when I had first got my car. I was talking to this woman back in the day.
The Maxi?
The Maxi. When I first got the Maxi.
To show to spread his legs a little bit.
Man, and my ass trying to go out at nighttime and drive with no glasses on. Hey, it was too dark outside to be trying to play that cute shit and drive it, man.
What happened with the Pre? Wasn't that the same situation?
No, with the Pre, somebody had slammed on on a brake, and a person in front of them had slammed on their brakes, and I hit the person. So they totaled my Grand Prix out after that. But man, R.I.P. to the Pre.
Yeah, Pre got us that. Ain't you put them 20s on that thing? What was
I
it?
did put them 20s on there. That was the worst investment I ever made.
Nitro. You said this nitro went here. I'm like, what? I was putting different gases, different elements in that thing.
I might get the Nas next time.
Where you get it from? Tire Rack?
Tire.
Yeah, I remember.
You was shining for how long?
Hey, man.
Hey, that was an upgrade immediate.
Dog, I ain't gonna, man, that's the worst investment I ever made in my life, dog. I've paid so much on them rims just paying month to month. Dog, they was just taking money from me, dog.
The rims,
every check.
I told you to go BBS. The rims take you somewhere. It put you in a different headspace.
Until you crack them hoes and gotta go get them fixed.
Until somebody put your shit on bricks.
Message.
I mean, but that rent center whole way of paying, it becomes expensive. You paying like 4 times over with.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know you want to shine, and they there for you. You just gonna pay for it. I mean, this is a legit business. You just you want to shine that hard, you better run them numbers.
People should do that more with business as opposed to stuff, you know. We go buy furniture and cars and all that, but you should, if you could get a loan, it might not be from the bank, but if you could get a loan, why not take that loan and put it towards your business and bet on yourself that way?
Assets. You can buy get you a HELOC with the credit. Like, credit is supposed to be leveraged. Like, if you using credit to buy shit, I mean, if you buy things that are supposed to appreciate in value, you can literally use a card to buy a property. You can use that for a down payment, get you a home equity line of credit. You better make sure your credit good enough to lock in that card or that rate or whatever with that particular bank.
It's a leverage.
That's how it's supposed to work, though. That's how the other side's always been doing it.
And what I'm hearing from y'all is make your money make money.
Yeah.
Man, and understand leverage, because just like when you're in a relationship, man, like what you gonna, like, you want to get something from a girl, it's like, you know, they know they got the leverage, right? Like, oh, you want some vagina, I got the leverage, right? So in some cases,
take a couple Cheesecake Factory runs.
Yeah.
So treat her right.
Yeah, get some of them medallions in her plate, man.
The
steak medallions.
That's your go-to at Cheesecake?
Nah, I wouldn't do that number again. I was just being kind of snide when I said that.
What you do at Cheesecake?
What do I do at? I have done the medallions and I wasn't impressed. The pasta was okay. I was trying to stun a little bit on my anniversary, but I never take my wife to Cheesecake Factory on our anniversary again.
I feel that.
Yeah, that was just not the move.
I blew it. Man, I ain't never taken Jade nowhere that's
like a mass.
What is it? It's
mass produced thing or chain?
No. Yeah, chain. Nah, she ain't gonna like it. She'll go with me, but she ain't gonna be impressed. And it'd be like, I waste my money. But also, like a overly, like, if it's like an original place and it's like expensive, like, if the experience is good, and the food's good, like, she'll like it. But like Cheesecake Factory, I'm with you on that. Like, I can't really take her there. It's gonna be like a waste. She's gonna be like not impressed.
I remember niggas was gassing that cheesecake so hard after our prom. Of course, I ain't go because I had to dip early. I caught that Rockets Lakers though.
Yes, sir. I caught that for sure, Pat, because I didn't go to prom.
I
Because I
was
was too
out.
scared to ask a girl out.
Don't speak on that, mister. I mean, Greg.
I always asked out the ones that like not likely. Not because they wouldn't like me, but it was like
You know, so for sure.
the scenario, the timing, my time would be
Yeah.
bad. Huh? My timing would be bad, or it'd be like just outlandish, like a desperate act.
So what was the prom then? Well, go. Let's circle. What's your prom situation? Well, I know you ain't have one,
I
but
ain't had
you
one.
dropped the ball.
I just never asked nobody because I had a
You
fear
had
of
someone that you
rejection.
were supposed to.
No,
Lock
because
in a potential. Oh,
I had a couple that I would have liked to ask.
you had a roster.
I had a couple I would have liked to ask, but I had a fear of rejection back then as a youngster, so I just was like, man, I just watched the Rockets game.
But Greg,
Did we win that one?
We
I know it was
won that
double
one.
overtime,
We
I thought.
won that one.
so this though,
That was
like,
my prom. The Rockets winning.
was there like if you would think back and you're in 12th grade and you process your mindset, was there one that you knew that was the likely one to take? Like, was there somebody you was talking to that you knew or friends with that you knew would go with you, or you knew it was the move that you not maybe even knew that they would go with you, but you knew it would have been the right move?
Yeah, I know. I think I got one in my head
Yeah.
for sure. Maybe two, maybe three that I know I should have probably just put my bid in, see where I would have came with, But
Man, if I can travel in time, the shit I
Yeah.
knew now,
yeah, man.
it'll be a total different. My life would be so much, but that's life in general. Everybody could say that. Hindsight is 20/30.
I had a good time. I went with it was a girl I was friends with.
You went
She's-
with that white chick, right?
Her name's Mary, man.
Put
Nah.
you on
Mary was
blast,
cool though.
dog.
Mary, you were cool. I
Yeah.
just forgot your name, Mary. Damn, don't.
Nah, we don't talk no more. Like we're friends on Facebook, but I don't. We haven't talked. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of stupid back then, so I might have done something. But nah, we was real good friends, man. And we was able to go to prom together, and it was cool.
Did y'all go to cheesecake after?
Nah,
Everybody.
Where did you go to eat
They're
afterwards?
supposed to go to Galveston.
dog, it's a blur. I don't know, man. Like, I do not know. I know.
Your prom must have sucked then, Kato.
But you were a
can't
gentleman that
remember?
night?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if it sucked, dog. It
had to.
Maybe. I don't remember it sucking.
I'll tell
ain't-
you, mine sucked.
Yeah.
You
But
said you went to
Applebee's.
prom though, huh?
Yeah, I went to prom, and I
You didn't go
not
after
with my
prom.
girl. I know that much
Oh.
because I was hated on as usual. I was getting, and she knew what she was doing. She was like, "Hey, you're not going to prom with Patrick." And I heard her say
Hold
that shit
on.
when I was on the phone. I'm like,
Who
"Oh,
she say that to?
to my girl,
Who said that? Wait.
her mom."
Oh, my dude.
And shit, because back in the days, you was on the phone. That's how your relationship is.
We had 113.
You know what, man?
But yeah,
That's-
I went
that's-
solo, and I
that's
sat
it.
with Cam and his girl, which was weird. So I just packed it up and went to the crib.
I forgot that you didn't go with your girl, but let me ask you something, dude. Why was she hating on you, but then your girl end up with who she end up with after you?
Man,
Like
look,
what's up with that?
So that whole situation, and Greg, you play a role in this too.
Oh man.
That whole situation. These are high school bullshits. But I mean, her mom was always kind of on some weird. I'm partly to blame because put yourself in that mindset too, right? Like, y'all both got girls, right? You grow up, you gonna want the guy that they eventually date to kind of be on point or whatever. I remember the first time I met her, you was actually there. Well, that wasn't the first time. Well, no, you were there the first time.
When her
literally,
mom
too.
was there?
No.
Yeah, I was there the first time.
And then the second time
Yeah.
too, when her mom actually came, that was when Chris drove us down to the movie theater.
Yeah.
And I was sitting behind the tree kind of acting stupid. I didn't know her mom was walking up though. She
Oh,
was coming up with her mom, and I'm sitting behind the tree like acting stupid, like trying to hide it. And I
oh, like
popped my
playing
head
around.
out, and like her mom's, I'm like, "God damn, you just kind of put me out there. So maybe from that point moving forward,
Oh,
course
she took it personal or took it
well, like
judged you off of it.
I wasn't taking it seriously for her, but I didn't know she was gonna come up together.
Yeah.
You know,
Moms just know, dog. I think it's just moms know.
Oh,
And
I'm
they
a
ain't
good
gonna
guy.
cut you no slack. They ain't gonna cut you no slack if they know.
Well,
But it's important because
they
you
can
have
also
to be
get a
protected.
bad first impression, and that might be
Yeah, that's
set
what
their mind up.
Yeah, oh no, that impression wasn't great. But think in terms of, hey, when you grow up, eventually, y'all young ladies gonna get in. They're gonna fall in love. Ain't nobody dodge that game. They're gonna get that first love in high school, bro. Just like we had to go through them
It's
trials and
inevitable.
tribs. So you just gotta make sure the dudes that they with on point and learn from the stuff that we do. Don't scare the shit out the young man, but you
Yeah,
gotta protect them.
You're
don't
gonna have a good collection of guns by then, you know.
yeah, don't
Man.
force anything. Like kind of like, you know, just display your power. You fathers out there, display your power, but don't force anything.
Hey,
Let them
I'm
guide
out of this
them,
one.
guide them interfering. Like fellow fathers, guide these dudes interfering you. Don't force them to fear
Respect,
you.
though. Respect is the word.
Yeah, respect.
Respect is the word because you want them
Yeah.
to respect your daughter. You want them to respect, and I respected
Know
her
that-
dad and all
yeah.
that other stuff. I was a good guy, y'all know. Like I ain't never been on no extra shit. I
But
never
you know
have.
You
what?
ever hit a woman?
Nah, man.
Bam. Boom.
Ralph, you ever hit a
that
woman?
ain't
Bang. Like my sister when we was kids. Like,
I saw the aftermath, but that's kind of different.
I mean, some
That was
women,
combat.
some women like punch you. Yeah, some women like grab things, try to stab you, try to like hit you.
Yeah, man. the
Like it's
knife
kind of
thing
like
so
what
played
else
out.
can you do? Yeah, I mean, but anyway, so I ain't really you got to kind of like learn from your experiences, and like my Jade, she always tells me like, hey, just act how you would want the guy to act
That's good.
that your daughter would date. Just be like that, like
Man, that's a very good.
That's good.
Yeah,
Thing.
that goes into reflections, you know.
You gonna lock that into the memory banks for you got a nice little time.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm finding my sweet spot now. Going into year 4, I think it is, of marriage.
Time flies.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to finally find my sweet spot.
Yeah, that's good. But people think it's supposed to happen right away. You're supposed to get it right away, or just be right, period. And it's all like it's all relative. You can't really put no time limit on anything, but you gotta know each day. Be conscious of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just it's life in general. You learn every day, you grow every day. So you're supposed to, at least. You're supposed to learn something new every day.
Yeah, well, don't. Yeah.
But back to it, my prom wasn't special, nigga. I was sitting around Cam, and I eventually pulled the plug on that thing. I ate. We got our nasty ass food. You ain't missed nothing on that one. I tell you that much.
At the prom, they had food at the prom?
Yeah, they had I think they had like little snacks. I had a roll or something. I don't know. But I ended up going to hell home. And the next year I went to her prom. And that was when the bullshit started popping off. Because I got did dirty. That's when I got did dirty.
That night. Wait, did you start getting dirty
pathetic.
for prom?
That was pathetic, man.
You gonna want to elaborate, or you want to say that for the next part?
Man, look, I say I left her, but she had an after party with somebody else. Hey-o!
Man.
And I took that L.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take the major L's.
The L's happen, man. You got to just take those L's and learn from them and keep pushing, man.
You got to keep going, but that's why I said, thank God I ain't married a bad bitch.
I think
my wife is exactly what I need and love of my life.
Yeah, my wife is an example. You know, I think the way she acts is an example of me of, you know, making me want to get myself together to live up to being her husband.
Got to level up. And that's the one quality I think all of our women, just literally across the board, it also comes with maturity as a man, but when your woman is able to elevate you or make you, even if you're not there mentally, them seeing that you have the potential makes you want to level up for them so they don't look stupid.
Yeah.
Some has made bigger strides than others, but as a whole, we've all leveled up to meet the standards of our women because we ain't running around with no dusty women or no, like I said, bad bitches or birds or anything. These are like
Yeah.
our queens, and I just try to stay away from that. I don't know. I got a weird thing. I don't think
Hello,
of myself as a
queens.
king,
I'm a
but
king. I mean, that's the only verbiage we know though.
yeah, no,
King and
I think
queen.
it's apt. It definitely applies to the people that we invest our lives and ourselves in. Like if I'm gonna jump in front of a bullet for you, I'm gonna call you my queen. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
You
put my life on the line. Somebody busting that house. I already told you, Greg, I ain't got that thing on me yet, so I got to grab a lamp or something. I'm gonna have to tussle with
Man,
you. I'm
you
gonna
need to
tussle
get that
with you.
thing, Pat. It's
Tussle.
September the 1st is passed, so everybody is able to carry now, you know?
Hey,
So,
I'm gonna tussle with you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tussle
hey,
with
you
you.
gonna tussle for 2 seconds.
And them dogs gonna be right behind me. We gonna work that out just so my lady can be safe.
So
But
you
Tilly
can
gonna
get your
ride
ass
with me.
beat like they used to.
Yeah.
I never got in a
Yeah.
fight over a
If
girl.
you
I
come in
say
my
that.
house, I am gonna shoot you.
We use these.
There it is.
We use these, but you still lived another day.
I got
Nah.
2 dogs. My dog's gonna ride with me. They might grab an ankle. I'm gonna tussle with you. If you got a sharp object, I'm gonna have to use that jujitsu, whatever.
Shout out John Witherspoon.
And we practice nonviolence over here.
Yeah.
But you ever fought somebody over a girl?
Nah, man. Some would call it being oblivious, but really I never cared enough. And I just was kind of like borderline, I don't know, like I didn't want to seem like a sociopath, but like uh when I was younger, I didn't like, yo, you got another girl? I mean, you got another guy? That's fine with me, but
Was it fine though?
nah, so here's the thing. Um I never knew of anybody that I talked to or dated like having a boyfriend, but I know one girl who was like, I think she was like playing both sides. Like I knew who she used to date, right? Like he went to high school with us. She didn't go to high school with us or whatever. Oh, well, anyway, so it was funny when this was the first time I realized like I just I don't need to be dating because I don't care. Like she would be like doing things to try to make me jealous, but I'm like, man, I'm talking to like 4 other girls. I don't really care like what you saying to me right now, and like I low key was kind of like so nonchalant about it that she thought that like I was oblivious, but it was kind of like, nah, like I just almost accidentally called you another name of another girl. I just don't care.
Scumbag.
Savage.
Greg, you ever got in a fight over a woman?
No, we don't fight over women.
Right.
We fight over pride and ego.
Yeah.
This is true. Did you ever
best thing.
almost cross that line?
Nah, bro. I never, cause I was late to the game. Like I didn't really date until I got grown.
That's a
like
blessing.
out of high school, you know.
Where's the first
Yeah.
date? Honestly, I didn't. So, okay, here's the thing that me and my wife talked about. And I think this was an interesting concept. The way, if I hear a woman say that she's dating somebody, I think that that's an excuse for them to, oh, we're dating. Versus if I say, hey, I'm dating you, you my girl. Like, that means, nah, hey, I'm dating you. Like,
Wait,
we locked in, we in here.
on
we
the
dating.
girl on the women's side. What you mean they mean? I mean, what do you think they
Well,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. Like in the context that I heard it, which is what sparked that conversation that day. She was like, "Oh, so and so they were." She said they were dating. I'm like, "What were we dating?" And she's like, "Yeah, we were dating." I think she said back when me and you were dating. I'm like, "Whoa, we were dating. There wasn't no dating.
Okay.
I locked you in. Like
on.
there wasn't no dates."
Hold on. Oh, but
'Cause
y'all were dating though.
I think that was okay. That's what I'm saying, though. I think that it's used on that side, and maybe it's just me because I don't like entertaining more than one woman. That's a lot of work, bro.
I've been there.
Oh,
I've done that.
yeah.
It's a
I
hassle.
don't.
It's
I don't
very
do that
much a
shit.
hassle.
So I learned that
Yeah.
lesson. I don't like that, and I never did the whole cheating and you can call it dating. I didn't do that shit because it's
Yeah.
too much effort. So when she said like, back with me and you were dating, I'm like, what? The dating? I went on a date with you and I locked you in. You knew what it was that first time. So after that, even if you don't want to call me boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever,
Oh,
like,
like if she would have said when we were together or something like that, it would have.
yeah. But when you say dating, I think it gives you an out to kind of, and I'm dating somebody else too. I dated a few guys. It's like,
Yeah, I understand dating though, because I've been dating before.
honestly,
You
thinking back, I haven't really done that.
Well,
I see what you're saying.
that's because you want to go, like you want to go out, and so you just want to go out with a woman, but you might not want to go out with the same woman all the time. So you have different women that you be like, hey, you want to go kick it here? Hey, you want to pull up today?
So your
Okay.
experience doing that, how did that turn out?
It didn't turn out good because it's a hassle.
Y'all got
draining.
stuck.
It's very energy draining.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's kind of exciting, but eventually it kind of succumbs to, you got to just keep track of all this other shit, man.
And semen retention, man.
But you know what, man? That dating stage, I see what you're saying. And any girl that I just dated and didn't lock in, like just dated, I didn't like them.
Yeah, if you say
Like,
you're
so that's
dating
why it was like
somebody,
kind of
there's a reason
stressful.
why
It
you're
was
saying
something
you
about
date.
them, yeah, just to pass the time. Like they pretty, so you want to be
You
in their
waiting for the
environment.
next one.
Yeah,
You waiting for the better
That's
opportunity
it.
to pop up.
couple birds.
The ostrich.
Took them to get a shrimp basket.
But I do see what you're saying. At first, I was like,
Get the shrimp.
wait, y'all were dating though. But you're talking about dating, the precursor dating. There's like a pre.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got to fill them
then-
out first because we exchange goods for services in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you
But
might
it's
got to
nothing
take
wrong
them out. You at least want to take them out instead of just being like, hey, I want to have sex with you.
But that's you being a man. Like at a certain point, like you being able to take a woman out, that's just grown man stuff. Even though you may not be a grown man, you might be 17, 18, but look, if I ain't got the $50 and all, at that time, we already had our story. But now I can't accept nothing less. For my wife, for my lady, or even before Chelsea was my wife, I couldn't allow myself to be caught out there like that, not being able to take you to go to just eat. And I'm supposed to pay the bill. Like, that's it.
I try to like.
Yeah, I try to always do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no way around that, man. There's no excuse.
Right.
Not as an adult. Like, come on.
But since I'm married, my wife could pay the bill when she want to.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
comes from the same account, at least on this side.
Yeah, same here.
But I do
It's just
try
a
to.
gesture, really.
I do try to like when I care about, the fact that I'm in a relationship. I care about Jade a lot. I gotta be conscious of like creating an experience. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like I think when you're in the dating stage, it's symbolic of that. Like you like take them out. You say you're taking them out because you're the one that you're expected to pay.
Yeah.
In one way or another. So it's symbolic of that experience that you're gonna like create for them. And I think like people don't look at it that way. That it's like it gets like, oh, you're the man, you're supposed to pay, or like, oh no, it's modern day. We splitting this or whatever.
Yeah.
We get caught in the actual like paying and what we gonna do, their pride and all this kind of stuff.
When the moment is what we need to be appreciating.
Yeah,
That way missed me
definitely.
totally. Like I always assumed that, hey, if I'm gonna take you out, and granted, I didn't date a lot. Like I'm
me
I'm
neither.
struggling to
I
think
don't
about
really.
what dates I've been on. I haven't gone on dates.
Man, so,
I have.
I'm just
would.
with you. I just lock
They
in
would be-
and
they
that's
be-
it.
that-
The
I
ones you
think be
keep
the-
around are the ones that like to help pay for things, that don't just want you to do everything. They ain't got no problem going in their purse sometimes. That's who
why
you
my
want.
wife got me.
or the ones
Straight
that
up. Like
don't care
I
about.
locked
Yeah,
in
more
with
than once.
Chelsea. Like we went to the movies and it just touched my spirit. She said, "You want an icy?" I was driving to the Woodlands and she had got the
That'll
tickets. I
do it.
bought the tickets. She picked them up or whatever. And she like, "You want something to eat? You want an icy or something?" And I'm like, "Whoa." That's a little different.
You got wet.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that ice.
You got wet pat.
And snail trails.
No,
Snail
wow.
trails on my leathers.
Snail
But no, she asked me for icy, and at that moment, I kind of knew like, oh, okay, she cares. Like it isn't about me paying for the movie, but you asked your boy if I wanted that white cherry icy. I did want the white cherry icy and the popcorn, and that's what kind of locked me in because I knew it wasn't about just me.
Yeah.
Give. You can exchange, and that's important.
Yeah. Right.
Let's cut right quick. Let's cut.
Cut.